it's the 5th day of Vlogmas already, and today I'm just going to stay home and work on filming because I have a lot of that to do. I have a video to get ready for my main channel for Friday, and I'm leaving for Florida on Thursday, so I have to get all my filming done before I leave, and then I can do editing on the plane and at Michael's while he's at work, my friend who is in Florida. For any of you who don't know Michael, we have been going to the same school since kindergarten. We didn't really start hanging out till high school and like a lot in college. It's raining outside. I don't really want to go anywhere anyway, so it works out perfectly. So I'm just going to give you some behind the scenes of how I set up my shots and like show you my lighting and stuff, my tripod. I've kind of showed a little bit of that in the past, but I'm going to do more today. So I hope you guys are interested and into it. Let's go. This is the room where I film most of my YouTube videos. There are times when I will film in the kitchen on our island. As you can see, I have two softbox lights, one on each side, and then I have my tripod in the middle with my camera. I got the COWBOY Studio brand, which I purchased from Amazon, and they did come from overseas. I think it was somewhere in Asia. It probably took about a month to get to me, so the wait was long, but once you get them, I've had them for over a year. Sorry, that's probably just brightness in your face. But I have had them for over a year, like I've said, and the bulbs have not burnt out yet, and the bulbs do come with them, so that is really nice as well. Of course, one of the cons to having these giant softbox lights is, of course, that they're really hard to store. And I live in a 2-bedroom apartment with only a couple closets for storage, so I really just leave them out all the time, and they're kind of an eyesore, but you do what you have to do. So I'm not going to put them away or anything and like show you how they fold up, but you can obviously fold the legs and make the pole smaller and shorter. I can show you, like, it extends really easily. You just open this and pull up. Not easily with one hand though, but it is easy when you don't have a camera in your hand trying to do it. Then this knob, whoa, okay, that was not good of me to do, but anyway, you can adjust with this handle the angle, so you can angle it up if you want to, or down. Ideally, if I had more room, then I would take my third softbox, that's over here, and what I would do with that is I would make it really, really high up, and I would position it so the light comes down over the table, and that's just supposed to get rid of shadows, but I just think it's okay for me with just the two on the sides. Another option that doesn't take up much room at all for lighting is to get a ring light. I have no example to show you because I don't have one. I've never tried personally using one, but a lot of people do use that for their YouTube videos. One thing I've personally noticed though from people who use ring lights for their intro where they're actually on camera is you can see the ring of light inside their eye, like their iris, you can see the ring of light. Another option is to just use regular lamps. Just get a bunch of lamps gathered from your house and put those all around your filming area. You probably would want to buy a bulb that is more tri-light colored instead of just the regular yellow, because then you'll get a nasty green tint in your videos, but you can fix that in editing. I color correct my videos all the time. The final lighting option that I'm aware of is just using natural light. This is really a gamble because on days like today where it's gloomy and raining for me, then you don't get a lot of light, and your cameras need a lot of light usually to work well. Otherwise they look grainy and they just have a lot of noise. So that's something to think about. But it can be done because I had my main channel for 5 years and I used natural lighting the entire time, a little bit of help from regular lamps. I had so many days though where I was beyond frustrated because I wanted to film. I was ready and it was cloudy, or it would start raining, or something would happen, and there was not lighting for my video. So that's always a toss-up, and it is up to you, of course. That is free to use natural lighting. I also didn't upgrade to a really nice camera until 5 years in as well, I believe. So this is the Canon EOS 70D. It's the 18 through 135 millimeter. So what I really like about this is it's good for so many different shots. You can zoom in really far, and it's on autofocus right now. I try not to keep it on autofocus a lot because you can hear the gears clicking, and that's just something on the 70D. On the 60D it didn't do that, but it is a nice feature to have. So what I normally do is I'll zoom in and I will let it autofocus, and then I will turn off the auto and just put it on manual, so then it won't do any of those noises or movements. I do like to have the exposure up one, but it just depends on how much light you have. Before I started using this camera, I did use a Canon Vixia camcorder, and before that I think I used a Sony Handycam, and then before that I used a really old camera. I don't know, it was some type of Sony, I believe. If you don't have access to one of these cameras, or you don't have the money at the time, if you have an iPad, a phone, even a webcam, you can definitely start filming videos. It's going to be more difficult and the quality won't be as good, I'm not gonna lie. Like, that's just how most people start out on YouTube though. Go back to everyone's first videos and see, unless they have a lot of friends and family who have experience in the film industry, their first videos are not going to be the greatest quality, but that's okay. That allows people to see growth on your channel. I basically just had the camera on nothing this whole time, like, here, look at my tripod and camera while I talk. So this is a tripod that I'm using just because it's very convenient and it's not very heavy. I think this one is from Walmart. It was maybe $60 though, so it's a pretty good one. Over here I have a little camera bag and a giant one. I will put the camera body in the little one when I travel, and then I'll wrap the lens in a couple pairs of fuzzy socks. I don't know if that's something that I would recommend, but it's worked for me and it's never broken. So this big camera bag can fit the camera body and all the lenses that I personally have. I have 4 total, but the one that's on the camera is the one that I use most. Sometimes I'll film with the white desk as my background, but when I want a little bit more color and variation, then I have this glittery roll of tulle. I have plastic table covers in so many different colors, and I have a lot of different patterns and colors of fabric. So I'll just put these down on the desk and change up the background a little. I can also use 12 by 12 pieces of scrapbook paper that are of various designs and even glitter. And another thing that makes filming a little bit more fun is having different types of string lights and turning those on. But you do have to be careful. The newest the newest set that I just got, it's hard to do like the lighting balance with this. They're pretty bright, so it makes everything else a little bit darker. So I don't like that, and I'm not a filming expert, so I don't know how to fix that exactly. And I know this sounds like a duh statement, but always keep a water bottle by your desk when you're working. And also I keep my phone because I like to listen to music, or I'll put on a YouTube video if someone else is in the background and listen to that. But I'm telling you this because it is really easy to forget to drink and eat. Like, you don't realize that you're working for 4 hours or 6 hours, and then all of a sudden you walk away and you realize how hungry you are or dehydrated you are, and it's just not good. So always remember to take care of yourself. It's also really important, and not to mention super convenient, if you have an extra battery or 2, because it is not fun when your battery is dead and you have to wait for it to charge. So always keep one charged and one on deck. I think these are probably both charged though. Also, it's best to film on the highest setting possible, so you want an SD card with quite a bit of memory. I use 64, you could probably do 32. I would not go lower than 16. Also, if the power source in your room is a little bit too far away from the desk than you want it to be, remember to keep an extension cord in your room. And I have this really pretty one. I don't know where it's from. Craig got it for me. He just brought it home one day and I was really happy. It's my favorite color. I film probably 95% of my videos all by myself, so having this flip out screen is essential for video making for me. It allows me to make sure that my face is in the frame and the top of my head isn't cut off. Those of you who are looking to start a YouTube channel, or maybe just upgrade the one that you already have and get new equipment or learn something new, I hope this video was helpful to you guys, and I hope that you learned something from it. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. And remember, do not get discouraged by comparing yourself to other people. Comparing yourself to learn more and like try to improve yourself is great, but comparing to bring yourself down and want to quit is not good at all. So never think that you're not good enough to be on YouTube. Every single person in this world has a story to share. It doesn't matter how popular you are, how famous you are. Fame has nothing to do with being relevant. There have been so many sirens outside today. If you're nervous or afraid, that's okay, but don't let that hold you back from doing something that you want to do and sharing a message that you want to share with others. If you have something that might help someone or just make people smile, then YouTube is definitely the place for you. We all start somewhere, and who knows, maybe you will be one of the next big YouTube channels. I mean, none of us who have gotten to 100,000 or 500,000, a million, none of us expected really to be there at the point when we started. We were just really excited to get 100 subscribers, and that was the coolest thing ever, seriously. Also, if you do plan on being a one-person production team by doing all the filming and editing and lighting and ideas and crafting or whatever videos you do, don't get discouraged. It does get a little bit difficult at times, and it does get kind of lonely being at home when, you know, you could be out in the world talking to other people. But if you live around family and friends who have time to help you out, definitely take their help if they offer it, or don't be afraid to ask, because having someone pan the camera for you will make your videos look so much better. I know I said that I film about 95% of videos on my own, and a lot of that is even when I'm in the frame on my own like this. But for some of my fashion videos where I did DIY t-shirts at the park, I had my mom help me, and she has no camera experience whatsoever professionally, but I still think that the clips turned out a lot better than they would have if I would have been stationary and doing it on my own. So definitely get people to help even if they don't really know what they're doing. You guys can learn together. And for those of you who don't know, I live in Ohio, and there aren't really YouTubers here. There's a few, but they're scattered and we don't really all know of each other. So here there's really not a YouTube community for me to hang out with and get help filming and bounce ideas off of each other. So there's definitely an advantage to living in a highly YouTube populated area such as LA, of course. There's so many people there who collaborate in person and are in each other's videos and help each other film. So if that's something that you are thinking to do in the future, then I totally would go for it. There's so many opportunities for you. I don't plan on moving there, but I know I would have a good time if I did. It's just that's not the path that I want my life to take, because I don't want to leave. Also keep in mind that some of your favorite YouTubers might even have a professional staff filming their videos for them. So when you see all these amazing shots, it may not be just the work of them or their family and friends. They may have hired someone and they may be paying them a salary, so keep that in mind. Oh, and the last thing, if you guys are wondering how I edit, I will be doing a separate video on that because some of you have shown interest in that topic. I want it to be a very in-depth video, so I didn't want to cram it into this, but I will tell you that I edit with Final Cut Pro. Sometimes I edit on my laptop, which is awesome because I can edit anywhere, and other times I will edit on my giant desktop. I just got Final Cut Pro last year when I upgraded my lights and my camera. So before that I was just using iMovie, and before that, early on in my YouTube career, I was using Sony Vegas, but I don't have that computer anymore. It's at my mom's, and I think it got fried or something. I don't know. And before that I was using Windows Movie Maker, which I would not wish on anyone, but if you have to, you have to. It just crashes a lot, at least it did then. Some of those programs you don't have to pay for, but Final Cut Pro you do. So if you need a free program, you can also use the YouTube video editor, which is free for you all to use. Not quite sure when I'm going to be posting that editing video, but it'll be here at some point, so stay tuned. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of the night. I will see you tomorrow for Vlogmas Day 6. Bye! You trying to eat those pretzels? Leo, you stole my chair. I was just about to sit there and film.